Getting a J1 waiver from a European country. That is what we're going to be talking about in this video. A lot of times in our case studies, we've been talking about getting a waiver from countries that are war-torn or are having massive issues. In this case study, we're talking about a case where we got the case approved and they were from Germany. We're also going to share the latest processing times and a lot more. So let's get started, friends. First of all, let's talk about the process. So first, we file the DS3035 concurrently with the I-612. That's the J1 waiver application. With that, we also prepare a detailed legal brief. To create that legal brief, we need extensive documentation that we work with you on advising you what's appropriate documentation, what's not, because you don't want to provide too much documentation. The officers don't have that much time to review the case. At the same time, you got to provide enough. So it's a balancing act. Now, after we audit the documents, we prepare that legal brief, submit the application to USCIS, and then we wait. So let's look at the processing times in this case to give you an idea of how long it's taking now as I shoot this video in April 2023. Here, we filed the case on September 22nd, 2021. The Form I-613 was received by the Department of State from USCIS January 27th, 2022. The favorable recommendation was issued by the Department of State on March 9th, 2023. So here you can see that USCIS was able to issue that I-613 in about a little over 3 months. It took Department of State over a year to give their favorable recommendation. That is where we are seeing the backlog as Department of State. Then USCIS approved the case on March 23rd, 2023. It was less than 2 years, so that's the great news with this case. Here you'll see that the case was approved within about a little over a year and a half. In order to qualify for a J1 exceptional hardship waiver, you have to have a qualifying relative. So this is the basics, but this is important because when you're looking at your J1 waiver options, a Conrad 30 waiver, if you're a physician, a no objection waiver, persecution waiver, you need to make sure you meet the basic requirements. So here we're talking about the exceptional hardship waiver. With an exceptional hardship waiver, you need to have a qualifying relative, which is a U.S. citizen child, U.S. citizen spouse, or lawful permanent resident child, lawful permanent resident spouse. All right, let's talk about the arguments that we were able to make to demonstrate exceptional hardship. In this case, we had 2 qualifying relatives, so we were able to demonstrate exceptional hardship to the U.S. citizen stepchild and to the spouse as well. Now, of course, in this situation, the spouse was a U.S. citizen. In exceptional hardship waiver cases, we need to demonstrate exceptional hardship if the physician went to the home country by themselves, with the American relatives remaining in the U.S., and if the family relocated to the home country together. In this case, we argue that if the physician went to Germany by herself, there would be exceptional hardship because the applicant physician is the main caregiver to her American stepchild. Not only that, but the spouse's employment does not offer any family or sick leave as well, so we were able to explain that as a factor as well. Another factor is that the family's health insurance was provided by the physician's employment. We were also successful concerning our arguments in the scenario of relocation, including the stepchild's inability to adjust to life in Germany and exceptional financial hardship due to ongoing financial costs in the United States, including the spouse's student loans. We're so excited about this case because now the couple can move on to filing a marriage-based green card. So you can see here, we didn't just make one argument, we made a variety of arguments, stacked them to demonstrate exceptional hardship. And it wasn't just preparing the form, it wasn't just preparing the statement goes along with our legal brief, but it was going into detail to make these arguments because these cases are very difficult to get approved. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Share it with a friend so they can learn more as well, because sometimes you don't even know what a friend needs. And make sure you subscribe to get future updates. And you are amazing, because by watching this video, you're bettering yourself. By bettering yourself, you're bettering your family. And by bettering your family, you are bettering the world. Bye for now.